Hello, friends. Welcome. Today we are looking at the top 5 tips when using the We Are Makers Thermal Cinch. I am so excited. This is going to be great. So, these are my top tips that I've learned from making a couple of books. I am not an expert, I haven't made 100 of these. So, just know as I learn more, I will share that with you. If y'all have any top tips that I missed, definitely link them in the comments or put them in the chat because I am still learning as well. Let me see. The other thing to note is I totally forgot. I apologize. Oh, the other thing I wanted to note is there are a few other hidden tips, so I'll try and point those out, but I've got 5 really important ones. And here's a book I made about an hour ago using these top tips. You can see what a great, hopefully you can see that. The glue is really coating these pages. If I just pick random one page within the book. My other hand is over here. I'm holding it up with one page, which is really what you want. You want nice, tight grip. So that's what we're getting today. Let's jump in. You will see the other 2 cameras are up. You'll see them the whole time. I'm not trying to do any switcheroos for you. And to save some time, I went ahead and got the book almost all ready. Picked out the pages, got everything cut down. The first hidden tip that's not included is I did still cut down right to the for the glue to be at the end of the bound book. Now, I know a couple of comments in my last video said don't do that, but because the glue will come out the edges. But I get a little bit nervous, and so I cut it all the way to the end. But don't worry, we will keep it from getting your machine all messy. So that's secret tip number 1. I'm going to go ahead and, oh no, I'm going to glue this down, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to glue this down. This is going to be secret tip number 2. We're going to get this all perfectly lined up together first. Then I'm going to take a little bit of washi tape and on the end that's not getting glued, you don't want to do it on the end that's getting glued. You want to do it on the end that's not getting glued. I'm putting that washi tape there just to help hold it in place. The little clip that they gave me does not clip all the way over. If you have a clip that's big enough, you could definitely use that. I do want to get a couple for some other projects, but right now I don't have those, so I'm just using washi tape. Next, I'm going to line this up. There we go. Line this up how I'm going to have it. Stick it down, and while it's stuck down, I'm holding it with pressure. I'm going to peel off this edge. And we're going to lift this over and glue it down. That's perfect. Now, the reason why I'm making a fuss about that is because if I bring this book in, you'll see we have got just a sliver of an edge of that first paper. We don't want that. This way, you don't get that. So that's why this is secret tip number 2. Then we're going to do the same thing on the back for the exact same reason. Now, this paper is just a little bit shorter than that paper, and that's why if you were a little bit more careful than I was, you wouldn't have that issue on the back. There we go. So that is secret tip number 2. Let's get into the top tip number 1. First thing we want to do is tape the corners. Now, I use this blue blue tape. This one's from scrapbook.com, but I know a lot of different companies have this type of tape. It's extremely low tack. It's basically a sticky note, but even maybe more low tack than that. And you're just going to peel off a piece. You're going to put it on like that. It's about a 1/2 inch in and then about 1/2 inch hang over. And we're going to wrap it around the top, wrap it around the bottom, and then push it in like that. That's it. So put it on, wrap it, put it down. Now you don't have to do anything further. You don't need to fold anything additional. We're going to do the same thing here. Stick it down, wrap, then press down. And I use these same pieces of tape for this book. They came off perfectly, so you can reuse them. It is not a one and done. The next step, oh, thanks, Kathy. The next top tip, there we go. The next top tip is the wax paper. This is actually parchment paper I got out of my kitchen. I just need enough to go, if you see, I want to be able to pull it out. So you want kind of the wax paper to go up above the book is really what you want. And you just fold that and put the book in. So if you're like me and, let me put that in. Okay, that's fully seated. I'm going to put the timer, push the timer. If you're like me, you might have had some spillover already. So this keeps this book clean. And if that tape fails, the glue will fall onto this paper. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, we're going to go ahead and go to that one, is extra time. I found that the 2 minutes is just not quite enough. So I give it an extra minute. So we'll let it beep, and then I'll bring my phone out and we'll add 1 extra minute to that time. So, but you can see this has really thick pages, and you're not having those issues of the pages falling out. Like on my first tries, some of the pages just fell out. Here, you can see. There's nothing coming out here. Additionally, while we're waiting for that, a couple of people asked me to zoom out on, I believe, this main camera. So I did try and do that. Normally I have more of the camera, it's the whole view, but I did, since we're really getting quick tips, I wanted to keep these 2 on the screen at all times. But if I need to zoom out further, just let me know and I can work on that. So we're waiting for that to beep. I'm so glad, Kathy, that these are helpful. These helped me. I've got to be honest, my first books were a little bit of a mess. The good news, okay, here we've hit it. So let me go ahead and hit start. We're going to give it 1 minute. Those books, I did have some issues. The good news is you can reheat them. There's no problems. You can just put the books back in, reheat them, and let them cool down again. So that's what I did with my first 2 books, is they had pages falling out, but I re-glued them and they don't have that. And you can see, you can even do like not all the way down pages. So you can do really fun stuff with these. I am really enjoying this thermal cinch. Okay, here we go. We're almost at time. We'll pull the book out in just a second, which gets us to tip number 4. We need to tap or press the pages in. And this was a great tip from my last video that somebody put in the comments. I should have looked ahead of time who said that, but somebody said you really need to tap the pages down. I found you can also kind of press them in, but kind press and tap. That's the fourth tip. And the fifth and final tip is to flip the book for cool down. So if you can see over here, I put the pages face down and the glue strip is face up. The reason I did that is for gravity. Hopefully the gravity kind of pulls that glue through the pages and seeps down a little bit more. So let me go ahead and put my timer on for 5 minutes. What weight of paper did you use? I'm not 100% sure. This is just some Anna Griffin paper that I had lying around, but it is actually pretty thick. Let me grab my other book that has thinner paper. So this was the book I didn't quite get finished the other day on my last Cinch live, but it has really thin printer paper. So this is the front. I'm still working on it. I need to glue these down, but I thought it came out really cute. This is just plain printer paper. And I think the thinner the paper, the easier I think it is to kind of glue the pages together. I don't have any problems with these papers falling out. Now, the front things will because I haven't glued them down, but just the regular papers won't. And I even put these page protectors in so that I could put some photos in the back here, and those glued in just fine, no problem at all. And it just all worked really perfectly. I'm very excited about this book. So that's kind of, oh, thank you. That's what this book looks like so far. I'll keep you all posted as I finalize the front. And when I start getting pictures in, and I can show you how cool this book is. But just as a reminder, I sew, and so what I did is I took a picture of myself and made it gray, and then I draw the clothes over my body to kind of try out different options, see if I think things are going to work or not before I actually go ahead and make them. I actually just finished making this top right here. Let's also, I did want to remind everybody, oops, here we go. For Sunday, I'm going to be working on my art journal, and the goal with this is, of course, for y'all to join me. It's like if you go to your local craft store and do one of those Saturday craft-alongs. So not to craft exactly what I'm crafting, just craft with me. That's the goal here, and I'm just doing some art journaling. I love mixed media art journaling, and I have had this not worked on for quite a long time, and I need to get back to it. I think I've just been nervous. I started work on a new page, and I need to keep working on it. I need to finish it so I can move on, and I'm really excited about it, but also nervous I'm going to completely mess up this beautiful vision that is in my head. So that's what Sunday is. And so definitely come join me. Make a book, make a cinch, do whatever, and we'll have lots of fun at 7 p.m. Central Time. I have all the other times in the comments below. If you haven't done so, definitely take a look at that last cinch video that I made. I walked through making a couple of books, and then also, if this was helpful, give a like to the video, subscribe so you can, we're going to make plenty more cinch books, so don't worry about that at all. Let's see. Thank you, Kathy. I'm so excited. I was really nervous about making one of these books, but it's not too scary. If you know the tips, because I did not, that was some trial and error, but once you know the tips, you're good to go. So, okay, I think I've gotten through everything. Reminder, if you have any tips, leave them in the comments because I'm still learning too. And we are so excited. I'm going to go ahead and just pull this over. It's still a little bit warm. So let's press it down on this cold table. put my cold hands on it because you don't want it while it's warm. While it's warm, the glue is still malleable. So we're going to go ahead and pull the paper off and see no glue came out. No pulling, no tearing. Awesome. Use these over and over and I'll stick them over there so I can use them because I'm cheap and we'll use it again and again and again. And pull off this. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's been 5 minutes since we glued this, so it should be good to go. Gently pull off the washi tape so I don't mess anything up. Turn off my cinch and we can see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's still a little bit warm. Normally, I would give it probably another 5 minutes, but I do want to show y'all. I'm not just going to like pull the pages out, but even that, just one page, it's great. So I'll probably let this sit for another 5 to 10 minutes, but look at that. That looks so good. And that tip at the beginning about lining this cover up, look, that lined up perfectly, and I'm not having this issue that I've had on a lot of my other books where the pages kind of stick out past. I hope this was helpful, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and that's it. It's a quick 15-minute video.